It's really coming down out there. It's Monday, it's 12 o'clock, and I've been on the phone for hours today trying to get to the bottom of this Sterling car not starting. So I'll kind of give you guys the lowdown. If you're bored easily by technical talk, just skip ahead like 8 minutes. So we bought the car, the airbags had blown, so the battery safety terminal blew. So I knew I had to put that back together. You saw in the video last week, I did shove it back together and seemingly getting 12 volts everywhere, but I'm not 100% sure that that fixes the problem. Seeing that the little explosive device, that circuit is open. That thing blew and I've even got it disconnected right now. So if that circuit's open, maybe that sends something like, hey, they haven't replaced the battery safety terminal yet, don't start, disable the starter motor. That could be. So I'm looking into that a little bit more. Now, I've fixed that, I've put my old battery in it, we have voltage everywhere, but it's not even trying to start. Let me show you the codes I have, instead of me just telling you. I took screenshots of the codes before, like the first time I ever plugged into that car, so I knew what was there and kind of what my baseline was starting, and let's look at those first. So this is for the DME. We had one active code in the DME, that's EWS 3.3 interface, no DME and EWS communication. The DME is the ECU, the engine computer. It's up under the front cabin airbox. The EWS is the security module, which is where your left knee would be under the lower dashboard to the left of the steering wheel. So saying there's a communication error there. Now we have all these shadow codes for e-box fan, crank sensor, crash deactivation of electronic fuel pump, all of that stuff. Now we go to the EWS module. We have a lot more codes here. We had a power on reset, which is normal after the battery's been disconnected and you plug it in. I'm not worried about that. Wrong key identification for key number 6, which is the only master key I have for the car. Toleration of changing code increased, key number 6. Wrong changing code, key number 6, and wrong identification for key number 2. I don't know where key number 2 is. I don't know if anybody knows where key number 2 is, but the code was in there and it says that it was currently present. So that's before I reset and tried a bunch of stuff. Now if we go to the post reset, I have all of these files. And the only one that's coming back in the EWS is wrong changing code for key number 6. That's code 62. If we look at the status, the live data status of the EWS and the key, we see all of this green stuff and the VIN, the key transmits, the key's enabled, status password's okay, status random code, it says wrong random code. Programming status is locked. Starter enabled, no. Well, that's a problem. That's probably why it's not starting. The starter is disabled for that key. Yes, 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 yes. Status DME/DDE wire blocked. I do not know what that is, but the status is blocked. Come down again, we look at error details for the DME. These are things that have come back after the reset. The present one is the same DME and EWS communication, and then we have shadows of the same code, code 42. Now we look at EWS, I think we already had that screenshot. Wrong changing code, key 6. Yeah, we have that one in there twice. I'll just delete one of them later. And then we have this same thing that still says starter disabled and that DDE wire is blocked. So that's what I'm working with. I've called LMS, Lyric Motorsport back in Ohio. I talked to Jeremy, the head guy over there, for about 45 minutes. And I took some notes on my conversation with him. Anything you guys know or can think of, it would be greatly appreciated in the comments. So my notes from him say, try a hard battery reset. Disconnect the positive and the negative terminals of the battery. With the battery disconnected, hold those together. It allows, it completes, I don't know what it does. They've told me to do that before. It didn't work in what I was trying before, but that is easy, cheap, and free, and quick to try. So why not? So I'll try that. Then he thinks maybe reprogram the key, but then he called me back and he's like, no, don't reprogram the key, you're going to need 2 of them, and if you reprogram the key and it doesn't work, now you don't even have a key that's going to unlock and do that stuff in the car. So, and the key does unlock. It unlocks the car fine, it locks the car fine, I can put it in the door and turn it and the alarm doesn't go off, it fits in the ignition switch, it turns all the way, it just doesn't start. And then he says that maybe the battery safety terminal shoving the wires back together doesn't work, it's not good enough of a connection, and that's maybe the root cause of all this. But if that's the root cause, why throw key changing codes and EWS DME communication codes? So I think we may have 2 issues. We may have a BST battery safety terminal issue, and then I think there is a security system issue with the EWS. So Adam Bajrak thinks that maybe disconnecting the the BST again, like where it blew itself apart, pull those back apart, and then instead of shoving them back together, use a jumper cable wire to bridge that gap, because that's a nice big thick wire with a good connection. So I can try that, easy, cheap, free, why not? Then I called B&B Auto House here in San Diego. They got a guy down there, Philip, who's fantastic. He's helped us with the LCI headlight retrofit on the E60. He's extremely knowledgeable. I talked to him for 45 minutes. He says, the key sounds bad. Order a new valet key. It's 40 bucks. You give them the VIN. You prove you own the car. The BMW dealer does it. You don't have to take the car in or the key in or anything and code it. You pick it up from the dealer. It's cut. It's programmed. It's ready to start. If that works, great. If it doesn't, replace the EWS. 140, 150 bucks. Order it through the BMW dealer. Prove you own the car. Show the VIN. Show your driver's license. Show the title. And they send that to you. You don't have to code it or program it, you do have to align it, which I can do through PASoft in the DME module. So I can realign the DME, the DME, existing DME and new EWS with that. And then he says, put the DME back to a stock file, because it's hacked right now. Like the EWS is disabled, but it's still reporting all the same codes and the same problem exists where it won't start, even though we've deleted the EWS from the DME's programming. So that's where I am. We need to get this thing running. I know, I really, really believe that engine's good. I believe it's great, and I want to sell it, and I want to make sure that it's great and be able to show video and listen to it and get a feel for the condition of that engine and transmission and all of that. I do not want to tear down a perfectly good S62 and sell it for parts. That would just be cruel to the world. So let me know. In other news, it's raining yet again. It's actually warmer in Ohio right now. It was negative 30 or 40 last week, or maybe that was Chicago. It was in the negative double digits last week. Now it's 60 degrees in Ohio. It's 55 here and raining and cloudy, but look how freaking green those mountains are over there. That's even better than a couple days ago. My M5 is beyond filthy. It desperately needs to be spray waxed. Really, I mean, it's almost wash level dirty, but I'm not going to take it out in the rain and try to wash it. So when I get done catching up on vlogs, emails, doing a little bit more research, I'm also going to pull the pins. I found a pin out on the EWS. I'm going to check power and ground there just because that's easy and free to do. I can't do that today, but next time I'm up there. There's all that California bug poop and stuff. That one's not, but all these little spots on the hood that show up, so I got to clean that off. The windshield's filthy and hazy. There's fingerprints all over the C-pillar for some reason. I don't know, it's just nasty. The exhaust is black, the wheels are black. I need to spend about 3 hours out here doing this. So I'm going to get caught up on the inside work, get to a point where I feel collected about the Sterling car, and then I will come out here, put on a podcast, and hop to it. Good evening. I think we're coming up on 11 o'clock. It's 10:30. I don't know. 10:30 is the new 1:30. I used to put these vlogs to bed at 1 or 2 in the morning. So I did come out after I took care of today's mail and electronic work. I came out here. I got to work on the M5. I got the glass clean. It was so bad I had to do the windshield twice, the sunroof twice. It just had so much buildup of crap on it. It's been about 2 weeks and probably 500 miles since I did a detail on the car, so I had to do everything. I did not finish it. I got this front wheel done. You see how light in the color that is? Like, that is perfectly clean. There won't be anything on my finger. It's the only wheel I had time to do today. We come over here. This one's really dark, and if I do the same test, look what we come up with. And that's a Hawk HPS brake pad. That is just nasty. So I'm gonna go wash that off. But we got work done today. We went up to the shop. We had to do some work on the car. So all I ended up trying today was a hard battery reset. So that's disconnect the positive and negative terminal from the battery, connect them together for 15 minutes without the battery in the circuit. Then try again. I reset all the codes. I used a jumper cable to bridge the battery safety terminal. So if I show you on my car here, move all this stuff out of the way, which I vacuumed today. And it is hidden. That's annoying. It's under this thing. So the positive terminal is right here. It comes out, and then there's a battery safety terminal, and then there's 2 positive lines that come over here. One of them goes into this. This is what powers the vehicle, the lights, the stereo, the everything except the starter, alternator, and that kind of stuff. Then the other wire goes up and through the cabin and under the floor and ends up under the front passenger seat in an electronics box that then powers the starter and alternator. So we bridged the gap between the BST, separated the cables, and then used jumper cables in there. And it is still throwing a BST related code since it sees that the detonator circuit is open, which is a little bit annoying, but we're actually going to go ahead and move forward with a new key. It's going to be a valet key, the cheapest one possible. Buy it from the dealer, have it coded and programmed and ready to go. So we're going to start with that, see where that gets us. If that doesn't get us anywhere, we're probably going to move on to the EWS. But that's where we are right now. I spent hours on the phone today dealing with that, and about an hour and a half up at the shop playing around with the car. But I'm exhausted, so I'm going to put together today and wrap up. We will talk tomorrow on Tuesday, yet another rain day. We are going to have the irrigation off here for another month. It's going to be nuts. But I'll talk to you guys then. Good night.